What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Roxora, and today we're doing another Commander deck tech, where I'm going to be taking a look at a viewer-submitted deck list, analyzing the commander, the individual card choices, as well as the strategy overall, and giving a rating out of 10 at the end, and just generally talking about the deck. Yeah, we got a cool submission with a budget restriction. So that should be interesting, and we'll kind of examine that, and we'll kind of take that into account. If you like this kind of content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I also do Arcana content, general Magic content, and just other TCGs in general. So, yep, good place to be. And yeah, submission day again comes from Prof Amateur, popular viewer of the channel. And yeah, let's check out their submission. All right, so their submission was Naru Meha Master Wizard. Very card I remember having a lot of fun with. I forget, was it Dominaria? I want to say it was Dominaria. Pretty sure it was that. But obviously this is a more up-to-date printing. So yeah, this is 2 blue for a 3/3 legendary creature human wizard with flash. When it enters the battlefield, you copy target instant sorcery you control, choose new targets, and then also just gives wizards +1/+1. So, you know, it kind of just looks like a generic wizard lord, right? Just like a wizard typo playing a lot of spells stuff. But this actually enabled quite a few, enables quite a few potential combos, and it's also just a pretty interesting card to kind of do some stuff with. Having the ability to just flash this out while in the command zone is super interesting. Commanders with flash just seem really interesting. Actually, there's not many. Actually, I'd be intrigued to look that up. Yeah, I struggle to think of other commanders with flash again, like besides like Venser, right? Like I just don't know of like other flash creatures. I'm trying to think that are legendary, right? It's just really rare. Sarkhan, I guess, right there, or not Sarkhan. No, maybe it's Sarkhan. I don't know. There's definitely more than just Naru, Meha, and Venser, but not a lot. So yeah, here's their list. Naming it gonna catch some Mehans. Some points there, some brownie points. Very nice, good one. And yeah, so again, keep in mind this is a $70 75, excuse me, a budget limit. We also, again, it's been a little bit since I forget if we've done the commander bracket. I think we did one deck or one or two decks since the commander bracket system has really kind of ingrained itself in commander. Moxfield has a really nice system that could just kind of defaults what bracket it's in, but again, that can be changed. So yeah, really nice here to see that. Yeah, pretty well into bracket 3. Safely there. No, yeah, one tutor. No, no mass land denial and all the things like that. Yeah, not. I don't even know if there are any. Yeah, it doesn't look like it'll tell you if there's a game changer. It looks like there's not a single game changer in this list. So yeah, so all those things kind of put this well safely into bracket 3. I guess like maybe it could be in bracket 2, but again, I think with some of the combos here, kind of is safe to put it in bracket 3. So, yeah. So let's look at what we got here. So we got a couple creatures here. Some of them I took a look really quickly. I haven't done too much analyzing just yet. Some of them seem a little odd. Again, mostly my guess is again that budget limit, but I think there's some cards you could kind of replace here. So Overwhelmed Apprentice, mills 2, and then mills each opponent for 2, and then you scry 2. So I believe this is like just an outlet for the Naru Meha. I guess I should go over the Naru Meha quote unquote combo. So with Essence Flux, Right, so sorry, with with Essence Flux, you can just trigger its own ETB, and if there's anything like again, we'll look at Sage's Row Denizen. But then if you have Naban, I guess you can't. Panharmonicon is too expensive. Do we have No, we have no Panharmonicon. Do we have any other way of generating more ETBs? I guess not. Yeah, looks like no. So yeah, I guess if you have Naban, you can do this. But yeah, otherwise, I guess it's just a cheap wizard. I also just like I get they're trying to do just run a bunch of wizards. Um, so yeah, but the main combo is Essence Flux, and there's also Ghostly Flicker does the thing if you have Ovo. So that's I think is the big one. It's mostly Ghostly Flicker. I don't think there's a second Ghostly Flicker. It seems like it's just Ghostly Flicker, which is fine. But then the other combo here is with Release to the Winds. So if you cast Release to the Winds on something, you respond by your whole priority and cast Naru Meha. Naru Meha enters. You copy Release to the Winds. You exile. You exile your Naru Meha. You recast it, and then you repeat this process over and over and over, and you get Magecraft triggers as well as any ETB triggers, right? So again, that's again where Sage's Row Denizen comes into play and things like that. So yeah, so that's kind of like the combo part. Otherwise, it just kind of looks like you're doing your standard like blink stuff, drawing some cards and things like that. So it is. With that in mind, so you have Spectral Sailor here. So I guess Ghostly Flicker exiles creatures, artifacts, or lands as well. So with Ghostly Flicker, you make infinite mana. Spectral Sailor then draws your deck, which is nice. Nice little flash threat. Augur of Bolas is a nice blink target. I think Fogbank here is just here for the memes, right? Where it's just a good blocker. Merfolk Trickster is a nice one to blink. So again, here's where Naban doubling any wizard effects is super nice. So again, all of the creatures here, I guess besides Phantasmal Image, are wizards, and we'll give that besides and the Starfish and the Fog Bank and the Pirate, I guess. But other than that, if it enters, you will get an additional trigger. So Seagate, Oracle, Augur, Bolas, Venser, right, Archaeomancer. These all do some nice ETBs. They also work for Sage's Row Denizen, where if the blue creature entering is a wizard, right, that'll work with Naban. So yeah, just a good, nice value card, and just another potential combo with Naru Meha, and it's only 20 cents, which is really nice. I don't think this card was particularly expensive either. I forget what set this was in as well. It might also be Dominaria originally. Actually, let me look. Yeah, Dominaria. Was I right about this one as well? Yeah. Look at me knowing stuff. All right. Anyway, now that I showed off my my Dominaria knowledge, Phantasmal Image is an interesting one, as it's just a nice thing to just like put into play to copy something. It doesn't work with the flicker effects, right? But just it's just a good value card, right? So then there's also Seagate Stormcaller. Seagate Stormcaller can also help set up the combo with Naru Meha, where you can kind of again play Seagate Stormcaller and Essence Flux. So if you have Naru Meha already in play, you Seagate Stormcaller and then you cast Essence Flux, and you'll get a copy of it. So there'll be 2 Essence Flux. The first one will resolve and blink the Naru Meha, and then you'll get to do the combo. So that's a nice card. The kicker is whatever, right? But mostly just playing it as a 2-mana creature that gives you a nice ETB, can set up some nice cool spells or whatever. So yeah. I'm gonna leave Sigil Starfish here for a second because that's the questionable card. I'll kind of talk about that. Banneret here, just a nice. I didn't even know this card existed. Just a nice wizard Reduction card makes all your wizards cheaper, makes Naru Meha cheaper. All that stuff is good. New card in Thunderclap Drake is a commander card that from Outlaws Thunder Junction that didn't quite work in CEDH, but for casual or for kind of the mid tiers, it's a nice card. Just has that Goblin Electromancer tag, as well as you can sacrifice it to then copy the next instant sorcery based on the number of times you cast your commanders. So actually, that's kind of interesting with the release to the win combo. So you can do the release to the win combo, then sacrifice your Drake, and then get an infinite cast of any particular card. It's just copy it. Yeah. So it has to be something that actually, it can't be something like Reality Shift, because Reality Shift needs a target. I'm trying to think of what could potentially actually win the game. Because none of these cards do it either. Is there anything that mills? I guess not. It can also just be used to draw your deck, which is fine. So that's still good, right? So I guess yeah. I'm trying to think. There's no real instant or sorcery here that actually removes a player from the game. Yeah, it's a little bit awkward because you don't have I guess you don't really have, you don't have any kind of damage spell. I guess again, if you wanted to do like a mill spell, I guess no, Essence Flux wouldn't work, Ghostly Flicker would not work because they all have to target. Yeah, rough. Yeah. Maybe that's something that I don't know if they should necessarily correct that, but like that's maybe something. I think maybe it's just again to draw the deck. Next up we got a big one here in Vidalcan Aether Mage. It's a nice wizard cycler. Isn't there another one? There's another one. There's Step Through. Isn't that another one? But again, maybe not wanting to go too heavy on the tutors. But that's all right. Oh, maybe they have it. No, it's a sorcery. Pretty sure. So I would see it here. But that's all right. Yeah, again, not trying to make this super competitive, but basically here to be a wizard cycler. The sliver part of this is completely irrelevant, right? You pay 3 mana, you go and find your Naban, you go and find your Seagate Stormcaller or any other nice wizards. And then the rest of these are kind of just good wizards to blink or just good value cards. So Aether Channeler, a lot of flexible modes there. Talked about Sage, Sage's Road Denizen as a win condition, just nice mill cards. Can also fill your graveyard. There's a dig through time here and things like that. This is target player. And then Seagate Oracle, Arcane Mitzer for value, Venser for some interaction, and then Zombie's really good here, right? Just you have up all these wizards. You just are drawing them. It'd be kind of cool if there was any kind of clone effects or like instants that can potentially make copies of creatures. Because then, that would kind of work with the spell theme while also kind of working with the wizard theme. I think there's a little bit of an imbalance right now where there's 18 creatures. It's not a lot of creatures for a zombie. And that's just my concern, is just maybe adding a couple more nice wizards here. But that's just me. I think I would just want to if I'm deciding to run a zombie in my deck, maybe want to run a couple more. 5 mana O2, draw an extra card every turn, like at the very least is probably fine. Especially we have to understand that this is a different power level. But yeah, I do think running a couple more creatures. I was gonna talk about Sigil Starface. I don't care about like, oh, you need to run all wizards, or like, again, this isn't a wizard either. Like that's not the problem. I don't really understand why this is here. It taps the scry one. It's just a nice cheap card. I love the art. I remember this card. I love it's a sweet card. Fun memories. I'm just not sure it does anything here. And I feel like, again, we have a little bit of room in the budget to kind of add something. So that's where my mind is at. I'm not really sure why this is here. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Again, I don't think they were like working super hard on this list. Just kind of a thing they threw together. let's talk about what we came here to talk about: instants and sorceries, because we're a wizard deck. We're trying to do some spell slinging stuff. So, a lot of good cheap spells here. So you got Gataxian, Probe, Ponder, Preordain, all the good cantrips. Brainstorm, Consider, Opt. I'm trying to see if I miss anything, and then some less in cards that I'm used to seeing. Right, like Impulse is not particularly a card that I'm used to seeing. But that's all right. Still a fine card. And then the Delve spells, as I mentioned, right? Both of them, Treasure Cruise and Dig Through Time. If you copy a treasure, like either of these with a Naru Meha, you're speaking my language. That's some value, right? Just getting to do that. And that's not particularly expensive, right? Like you just like play a couple of cantrips. You cast, right, you consider, you mill yourself over. I think, what's the card? Thought Scours. Thought Scour is not in here. I feel like Thought Scour can't be that expensive, right? Let me look up. On Scryfall Thought Scour, or can I look it up here? There's gotta be. Nah, let me just look up Scryfall. Cannot be that card. It's 80 cents. I think Thought Scour should be in here, especially for running the Delve spells. That's just me. That is also a win condition. As you mill out. Is it? I guess not really. You don't actually mill out your opponents, because I think you would run out of cards before then. But still, I do think Thought Scour should be in here, unless I am just missing it, which I don't think I am. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah, all the good cantrips, and then we get a couple of like funky cards here. So Mystic Speculation. So I got a couple of like interesting like scry cards. So like Mystic Speculation, or sorry, buyback cards as well. So Mystic Speculation, Capsize. I think those are the only buyback cards. Oh, is there also stuff with High Tide? So Swimming. Oh, you can also do stuff with High Tide. And so if you Seagate Stormcaller, you High Tide, or if you like Archaeomancer and do High Tide stuff, there's some Storm stuff you see. I see it now. Okay, I'm picking up what they're putting down. So with that, does that do enough? So I guess with like, oh yeah, if you do Ghostly Flicker, Archaeomancer, High Tide, it's or something like that. It's like kind of infinite, right? You like Ghostly Flicker a land, and you kind of are generating mana while you're doing that. So you generate infinite mana, then you scry a bunch, and then I guess you draw a card. I guess like this Mystic Speculation and the scry effects just kind of assist that. Sure. That seems fine. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, there's just not usually a way to like cantrip, but I guess with any of the wizards or any cantrips, you just scry through your whole deck, and then right after generating infinite mana, and then you win the game somehow. Right, through one of your blink win conditions, right? You just scry until you find a creature, and then born as well, right? Born is kind of needed in there. I'll explain born for that kind of concept, but that's pretty cool. I'm glad I'm like seeing all of this. This is a pretty complicated deck for being a $70 deck. So yeah, sorry. So that's kind of helping me explain why Mystic Speculation and some of the buyback cards are in here. Then we have a couple of interaction pieces. So you have Consuming Tide, Engulf the Shores, Aetherize, Bluster Squall as like these kind of don't attack me, or like punishing you for attacking. Right, just this bouncing all the things, this tapping all the things, bouncing all the things, bouncing all the things. Yeah. Slip Out the Back can kind of do both ways, where it can kind of protect some of your creatures while also just being removal. Suspend and Reality Shift in the same light. We have a couple of counter spells, not too much. I think it's a good amount of counter spells. So you have Uh, Retort, negate, counterspell, and I believe, sorry, an arcane denial. So 4 counterspells. And that's particularly that's fine again, particularly with the amount of recursion that you have, right, with Archaeomancer and everything like that. Mission briefing, favorite card of mine, used to be in Stella Lee. Yeah, snap here also really good. I believe there's definitely some snap combos as well, right? With so again with Archaeomancer and High Tide, right? If you have 2 High Tides going, right? So you've done 1 High Tide. Snap is mana neutral because you snap. Oh, sorry, not mana neutral. Sorry, you need 2. You need two High Tides, right? Because you have 4 mana to bounce the Archaeomancer. Sorry, 2 mana, bounce the Archaeomancer, untap 2 lands. You have 4 mana available to replay your Archaeomancer, but then again you need 2 more. So yeah, you need 1 more High Tide. So if you have 2 High Tides, each land generates 3. All right, so you tap your 2 lands, cast your Archaeomancer, cast Snap, bounce Archaeomancer. So that's mana neutral, and then a third a third High Tide. Kind of do some stuff, but again, that sounds like an insane ass, but again, with Seagate Stormcaller or just like Essence Flux or anything like that, it seems pretty nice. There's gotta be some more blink effects, right? There has to be. I mean, maybe I'm just lapsing because of mono blue. I guess there's more in white, which is unfortunate. But yeah, oh sorry, there's also I was like, I didn't look down, I was like, wait a second, I remember seeing something in lands. Mystic Sanctuary is another big one. There's no way to search for it, which like besides this expedition map, which is a little bit awkward, right? There's no there's no so that's a little interesting. But again, that's still fine. But yeah, that's kind of cool. Cool. So yeah. Sorry. So let's get back to, we were talking about the removal suite. Sorry, my mind is like piecing together some of the things going on here. Yeah, it's a very complicated deck for this price range. Like I'm already impressed. So yeah, talking about that. Blink of an Eye is also a nice little card. Getting to bounce something and draw a card is nice. Format is a little expensive, but again, for this case, it's fine. And then Capsize here, again, a good interaction card. Again, if you just have extra mana, and then again, the other thing of like, if you make infinite mana with the combos that we talked about, but you don't have a way to win the game, you just capsize all your opponent's permanents, and then you beat them down. All right. Next, let's talk about some of the stuff we see in the artifacts and lands here. So again, we saw the expedition map as a way to search for some of the key cards over here. So Mystic Sanctuary, were also notably Sun Scorched Desert as the win condition with Ghostly Flicker. That's probably a really nice one, as long as you have a land drop available. Ice Conceptor is a huge one here, as again getting to put Essence Flux on some things. There's no way to untap, right? So there again, we're not trying to do like the dramatic reversal stuff here. So yeah, there's nothing like that. But it's also bad to blink this. But again, if you just put like a counter spell underneath this, or like even a cantrip, but like a counter spell or Essence Flux, even High Tide underneath of Ice Conceptor just provides a lot of value. So that's nice. There's also Sapphire Medallion, I might add, as a very powerful card. Here's another one that is funny enough in the Stella Lee was it a precon deck, but not particularly a card that really was ever did anything. So Leyline Dowser, 2 mana. Sorry, where'd you go? Trying to bring it up. Because this is a complicated card. So one mana, tap it, mill a card, put an instant or sorcery, mill this way into your hand. And you tap a legendary creature you control to untap it. So again, in this case, with the Release the Wind combo, or with yeah, if you have if anything like that, and you have Ghostly Flicker or anything like that, you can kind of do some shenanigans, where you can like tap Naru Meha, you know, untap this, use it to get a card, blink Naru Meha, right, and kind of do some value there. It does have to be a legendary creature, but it's interesting to see that someone is actually trying to make usage of this card. I'd be interested to see how this card actually performs in the actual games, but yeah. And then some mana rocks here, just some of the budget ones. Notably, Hierophant's Chalice is another card that wins the game, kind of like Sunscorched Desert. Love it. Great to see it. Redundancy. This shows, like, again, even though this is a casual deck that shows smart deck, Professor Amateur is here showing smart deck building, where they're finding cards that normally aren't as powerful, but make the cut because of their unique ability to synergize with the deck. So again, Ghostly Flicker is really the card that makes this card worth running. Love me a Midnight Clock. If you guys aren't running Midnight Clock in your budget decks, very fair, fun, kind of card if you just need some card draw. And then a Semblance Anvil as a another imprint card that just discounts a bunch of your spells. You put an instant or sorcerer instant under there, and you're kind of off to the races. Right, you put an instant. Your Ghostly Flicker costs 1 blue, and that's probably easy to win the game from there. If you're able to do any shenanigans, so that's a good one. And then in the enchantment slot, some copies of Drown Secrets, which is another win condition for casting a bunch of blue spells. So I guess you can do the Mystic Speculation. That's the card with Mystic Speculation. You scry your deck, you draw this, you cast it, and then you continue to cast Mystic Speculation. You mill out all your opponents. Cool. Good to see. Love that. In by Piranhas is a nice interaction card. It's got Flash, which is really nice. Searcher's Kenta, awesome value piece. Miss playing around with this card. What a fun card. Notably, it does not work with Ghostly Flicker. If you blink it, it comes back on the land side, so don't do that. But Candlekeep Sage, another nice card. It's an outlet with Naru Meha. Also just a good card in general. Right, it benefits you for playing your commander, and then also benefits you if you kill your commander, which is also nice. First time seeing this card, Dissipation Field. I read it and I was like, dang. It just kind of disincentivizes your opponents from attacking you at a baseline. It also does some other funny things, but yeah, basically says when a permanent deals you damage, you bounce it. So you would think mostly that is just creatures, but also it's funny that there are also things like Planeswalkers that can sometimes deal damage. Those are permanents. Notably, Sunscorched Desert is really funny. If somebody else plays Sunscorched Desert, you can bounce it. So that's really funny. But mostly it's going to be creatures. Again, maybe some artifacts or enchantments do damage to you, and then you can kind of get them with the Dissipation Field. But mostly, again, just kind of a don't attack me kind of card, which is good for this deck. Just trying to set up. You need as much time as you can to kind of set up the combo with a lack of tutors and fast acceleration and things like that. So you definitely need all the time. Nothing crazy in the mana base here. Again, we talked about Sunscorched Desert and Mystic Sanctuary. Both these cards doing the cool combos. Zhalfirin Void also kind of doing the Ghostly Flicker thing with scrying. War Room and Castle Ventress, good card advantage stuff. I guess Hellmire Depths also does the Void thing. It's just a little bit worse because you have to put them back in anyway. So actually it doesn't do the thing. It's a nice value piece. It's a nice filtering. Or not filtering, just kind of top, like Sensei's top, right? It kind of helps you look, find a card you might want, but it doesn't actually dig further into your deck. Unfortunately, it doesn't let you get rid of bad cards off the top of your deck, which is rough. I'd honestly say this is probably just not needed, but that's just me. Yeah, so sorry, I was gonna bring up Emergent Zone and Born Upon a Wind because these effects are really important. Even though Naru Meha has Flash, if you're doing the combo and you have Essence Flux on the stack, like if you're doing the Ghostly Flicker on the stack and you're drawing through your deck, right? You need a way to get your win condition into play without letting all of those things happen. Or like without letting those things fully resolve. So it's really nice to just say, hey, I'm drawing through my deck. I find Born Upon a Wind. I cast it. Then I cast my other creatures, right? So, or cast your other permanents, right? So if you're doing the Release to the Wind combo with, your Candlekeep Sage, you're drawing through a deck. You have 2 mana or your 4 mana ready, and you want to do the thing, but you also don't want to. I guess this is not a mace. This also doesn't work. Dang, that's kind of crazy. But just again, as a general line, right? If you're these cards are not only good because they allow you to play at instant speed and kind of let you do the surprise factor. We all know this from CEDH gameplay, but even in this deck in particular, just getting to kind of insert the card into the flicker loop. You need to be able to play the card at instant speed. Again, assuming that you're winning with something like Ghostly Flicker. So, yeah, those things are nice. And again, it's a mono blue deck. So running these colorless sources like Emergent Zone and Zalfiran Void aren't really costing you too much. Of note, though, you do need to be running a certain threshold of islands for High Tide, which they are doing. Right, very few non-islands. There's even a Deceptive Island over here, which is nice. So, yeah, definitely good stuff there. Yeah, so that's a little bit about the deck overall. Talked a little about some of the combos that you can do, but really there's so much going on here, which, again, all of them just kind of synergize with Naru Meha or kind of are further enabled by it. So really cool to see. Again, this card was super high in the beginning and again did some things in standard, but really didn't do too much after that. So really love to see it here. So props to the prof for making this deck. As for again the grade and just kind of talking about how I feel about the deck. Again, I love the execution. I love the thought process is going into it. There's a lot of going on here. I think there's some cards that can come out or can come in. Again, the Starfish being the big one. I just don't see why this card is here. It would be another thing if there was like some sort of untap, right? Because again, once you blink it, it comes back in. So again, if it's just there for fun, it's just there for fun. But again, if we're trying to optimize it a little bit here and there, that's one of the cards that I would look at. Seeing if we can get a couple more blink cards, any instant or sorceries that copy creatures, that would be cool. There's like the one from Baldur's Gate that like makes a copy of makes a copy of a creature that's not legendary as well. So like that could do the stuff with Naru Meha even. And then just, I'm not sure on the numbers of like Azami or if we're really trying to enable Azami or if it's just kind of here to draw a couple of cards, but I would probably add a couple more wizards here and there. And again, if we want to adding Thought Scour and then also Step Through, I think is I can't spell. Yeah, I think adding this card as well, just as again an extra searcher. If that's what we want. If not, that's all right. Again, different people playing for different reasons. Again, I know Mike's play group, Professor Amateur's play group in particular is more casual, trying to not be as combo focused and just trying to play some synergistic cards, have a good time. So definitely understand that. But aside from that and like how good the combo is or whatever, it's really impressive to see how good of a deck, or I guess how cohesive and kind of how complex of a deck you can build for this price tag. Even some of like the improvements that you could make probably would not make it too much more. Again, here we're trying to strictly be to a $75 budget. Again, for other people, if you're not trying to stick to that, this is a good starting point. If you're like, wow, I really like this list, let me try and iterate on it and build it and make it my own or whatever. So yeah, really, I think it's a really nice draft of a deck. Again, with the budget limit in mind. But again, I would probably do some things a little bit differently, as I mentioned again, with Starfish, Thought Scour, Step Through, things like that. But the overall game plan is super, super cool. They can also play out really nicely where one of the things about, combo decks is it's really annoying when they're too fast, right? No one wants that in a casual game. This deck often will kind of sit back, do its thing, draw some cards, get some value set up, and then will do its thing, which is I think more enjoyable at the more casual level. So yeah, in terms of a grade, I was like gonna give it a 10, like a 10, because I just really like how complex this is for the budget. But again, I do still see some issues with again, less about the numbers and more about like why is this here. Definitely adding some of the easy cantrips. And again, not sure exactly about the definitive win. Again, there was the stuff with Mystic Speculation. So yeah, and also know we're rough because in a rough situation because it's mono blue. But all that, I would give it like an 8.5, 9.0. Like it's somewhere in that range because I think it's really, really good. Again, especially for a budget deck. Again, taking that into account. Super complex as I was able to kind of like weave through the list and find the interesting cards. So yeah, really big props to Professor Amateur for making this and sharing it. Much appreciated. And I hope you guys enjoyed. That's gonna do for me, I think. I think I talked about this enough. This is quite a complicated deck to talk about. They didn't include a primer, which is again fine. I prefer it when people include primers, but I know they kind of wanted me to figure this one out. So I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, let me know in the comments. Y'all can roast me and call me stupid. It's fine, I can take it. But all right, guys, that's gonna do for me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.